Okay, good evening, everyone. Hope you're doing well. JP Koster coming to you live from Cape Town, South Africa. And if you're on the call this evening for the first time, welcome. We've obviously done a few of these in the past. And so basically just a little bit about myself before I get going into the presentation is I've been part of Manatech for over 12 years now. I started when I was 22 years old. I had no idea what I wanted to do when I grew up one day. And a very, very good friend of mine, his mother's a medical doctor, told me about this product in America. And I bought some product and then sold some of that product, and eventually this became sort of a full-fledged business. We've obviously been able to help tens of thousands of people with not only with their health but also with their finances. So so basically what we can do this evening is basically I just want to obviously welcome all the new people that have obviously got involved with Manatech over the last few weeks. Things are really exploding. I think this is going to be a bumper month. And I think it's obviously a testament to what so many of you out there are doing. So so well done to all of you, and well done, and thanks for being on the call this evening. So just for me, one of the things, obviously about being part of Manatech, I think, one of the biggest challenges people have is where, if you think about where you're starting, if you're moving from point A to point B, I think a lot of people, the biggest challenge they have is crossing this, what I like to call the bridge of belief. And what I so often tend to see is that, people are very excited about the opportunity, they're excited about the business, they're excited about the company, but sometimes they just don't have that belief to move from one side to the other side. And I want to encourage you that, that really to make a big success in the business, it's not really, belief is not just a thought, it's really also an action. And what you'll tend to find is a lot of people that are making a big success in the business is because they're really going out there and taking action. And if you're not taking action, that's something that you really got to ask yourself is, what is holding me back? And in my experience, sort of what I've sort of felt, the things that hold people back, number one is because they don't, probably the biggest reason is because they don't believe in themselves. And just to share that with you, I mean, we've got an amazing personal development system where you can read books, you can listen to CDs or audios or podcasts. And of course, you can attend functions. I mean, obviously now we can't do live functions, but we can obviously do functions where, that are obviously now being done online. Because remember, for things to change, you've got to change. And what I've realized is that, and I think a lot of people that have been part of Manatech for quite some time have realized that, and social science suggested that the way that you change is the books you read, the people you associate with, and what you're listening to. So I want to encourage you that you're really at the right place at the right time. If you think about, that really where we're going as a universe, it's all about, controlling your mindset. Sorry, one of my first mentors, he said to me that 90% of winning is all about being excited. And he said there's only two things you can control. The one thing you can control is your attitude, and the second thing you can control is your activity. So for me, it all starts with attitude and activity. And Tony Robbins says it sort of a little bit differently. He says that it's all about mechanics, and he talks about the one part is the mechanics, and the other part is really the art or the science and the mechanics. Now, what we all got to realize very often, like for me, having built Manatech, is people always want to know what the secret is, and the secret is really there is no secret. It's about hard work, it's about determination, it's about going through large numbers of people, it's about sticking it out when it's getting challenging. But there's no real secret to it. But very often people, and I've obviously traveled all over the world with Manatech. I mean, probably to over 20 different countries, and doing talks and and meeting people. And people always think there's this one thing. If they learn this one skill, that's going to allow them to build a big business. I'm telling you, the only skill you really need to work on is to work on your mindset. Because you can know exactly what to say to someone, you can handle all the objections, you can know all the facts about the company. But if you haven't got a massive burning desire and a reason to go out there and go and build the business, it's going to be very, very, very challenging to go out there and, when the storm comes in, to be able to really, really be able to carry on marching, to carry on sailing to wherever you're going. So just something I want to, that I was thinking about earlier is, we were in the UK for Christmas last year, and I bought my son some Scalextrics, and I'm sure some of you know what Scalextrics are. Most of us played when we were younger. It's a game where you've got these, you've obviously got two people to play, and you push the button down, and it just runs around a track. And why I'm sharing it with you is because what happens with a lot of people when they're building their Manatech business, they sort of like playing Scalextrics. They press then they take the finger off the button, then they press again, they take their finger off, they press again, they take their finger off. And to be honest with you, that if you want to build a successful business with Magnetic, you've got to realize that you've got to put your finger, you've got to have your finger on the pulse all the time, because that's what you get paid for. I mean, I did not build a group of, 30, 40, 50,000 people just thinking I'm going to talk to someone every other day. It was really something that I did after me doing diligently now for 12 years. And I would honestly, to share with a lot of you, I only really sort of seem to have gone into massive momentum where we started doing 1,000, 2,000 new signups a month, after doing this for 7 or 8 years. But it's because of perseverance. So why I'm sharing it with you is because you've got to start at the beginning. And what the beginning point of this whole thing is knowing, why do you want to do this? What's in it for you? Why are you excited about this? Are you doing this because you're concerned about your retirement? Are you doing this because you want to help other people? Are you doing this because you want to qualify for the incentive we've got on right now? Are you doing this because you want to lose whatever body fat or look younger or whatever it is? But you've got to find a massive, massive thing that's going to drive you, because one of my mentors also said to me once, he said, short-term, he said, in fact, he said, long-term dreams and goals keep you going when you face short-term failures. So if you've got a small reason to build a business, if you've got just a little challenge that's maybe a little bit above that goal that you have, you're going to quit and you're going to stop building the business. Or if you've got a massive, audacious goals and dreams, it's going to keep you motivated when you're going through challenging times. So, so for me, I think one of the big reasons that motivated me in the beginning was all my friends said to me, "Oh, it's never going to work. It's a scam. Don't get involved. You're going to lose your money." So for me, that was one of the reasons that motivated me, because, I've always shared with people, I love what Frank Sinatra said. He said, the best form of revenge is massive success. So for me, that was something that drove me, because I wanted to prove to people that I can do this and that this will work. And I believed in the product, and I knew this would be such a benefit for so many other people out there. So one thing that you've got to really figure out is, why do you want to do this? And on top of that, what you also got to think about is, you got to figure out, what am I willing to give up to go up? Because very often what people want, we want more in our lives. We're not willing to make any sacrifices. So there are going to be sacrifices you're going to have to make. And, something I've always shared with people is, I've always felt, if I'm not willing to talk to someone about the Magnetic product or opportunity, it's because I value my ego and their opinion more than I value my actual goals and my goal of why I'm doing this. So for me, from the onset, the most important thing is know why you want to do it, and think about it. Because very often, what do? We plan our holidays better than we plan our lives. We don't actually sit down for one day and figure out, what do I actually want out of this? What's my dream? What's my goal? What do I want to do? Is it because you want to be free? Is it because you want to? Why are you doing this? Why are you even on the call here this evening? It's not because you were just going through Zoom and randomly typed in a number and you landed on this page. I mean, you are on here for a reason. So I want to encourage you is that make sure that you figure out why you want to do this. It's such an important thing. And, once you know why you do it, it's sort of like, which is really the art or well, I always like to call it the art side or the psychology part of it. But once you know that, it's very easy to figure out the science. And the science is, how do you make analysis? How do you contact people? How do you handle objections? How do you show the business presentation? Which products do you give to a person that needs this product or that product or that needs? You figure all those things out as you go along. So I also love what Robert Kiyosaki said. He said, and I've read quite a lot of his books, and he's written, actually, in fact, he wrote a book called Business of the 21st Century, which he spoke about network marketing specifically. He said, the first thing that you need to do is you need to have a long-term vision. And if you go listen to any or read any of these books, most people will tell you that when they started any type of successful business, they didn't just start off and and think, oh, this is going to have to work in the next month or next year. They were willing to put a lot of time and effort into it. And the next thing he speaks about is delayed gratification. A lot of people don't understand what delayed gratification is, especially people in their 20s and 30s, because we live in a microwave society. We want things instantaneously. And what you got to realize is that very often what happens is that you don't sow and reap in the same season. It takes time. And even for me today, I mean, I've been sowing for the last 12 years, handing CDs out to people, sending them links, following up with people. And, you can't just do that for a month and expect a harvest. You literally have to do that diligently for years and years and years and years. And I guess that's what I want to encourage you this evening is see this as a 2 to 5 year plan. Don't see this as a get rich quick scheme or something you're going to do for 2 to 5 years. And yes, many of you on this call this evening are going to make enormous success very, very early on. But for me, you need to realize that this is something that is a 2 to 5 year plan, and this is a side gig. For some of you, it's going to become a full-time job. Sorry, it's not a job, but for some of you, it's going to become a full-time thing where you can replace your full-time income that you've got right now. For some of you, it might become your retirement. I mean, for me, I started off with Manatee because I wanted an extra 5,000 a month as a student. It was never about me, becoming $1 million income earner and, traveling all over the world and becoming financially independent. That wasn't the reason why I started. I started this because I wanted some extra income as a student, and I had a passion to help people. And I think for me, that is something that obviously drove me. So I think what's very important is that it's important you've got your short-term goals, your medium-term goals, and your long-term goals. Just something I also want to share with all of you is that I really feel it's really important that when you start your business is that you keep the main thing the main thing. And I mean, it's I actually went through my diary today and I wrote down what are some of the things that I want to give up in 2020. And this is not for me specifically, but maybe you can relate to this. I wrote down, and this was for a talk I did in Sydney, and I wrote there, what are some of the things that all of us can give up for, like, we always, I mean, can you believe, we're almost like more than halfway through this year, but the one thing was complaining. That's something that all of us can work on and we can give up, is complaining. The second thing is limited beliefs that we have. The third thing is blaming people. Never taking responsibility, always saying, oh, it's the product, oh no, it's that person, oh no, it's this, it's that. It's just learning how to take responsibility. The fourth thing is always explaining. And in fact, always having the need to be right. I mean, the other thing that I think holds people back is negative self-talk. How often do we speak negative in our life? I mean, there was a book written called Hung by the Tongue, where really what you speak, you speak life into your business, you speak life into your marriage, you speak life into your, into your relationship with your kids, you speak life into your health. But it's really all about realizing that what you sow is what you reap, what you speak is what you're going to get in your life. And I think the last one, I think for me, is dwelling in the past. I'm not sure if some of you know Bob Proctor, but Bob Proctor speaks about this concept of the hourglass. And if you think about the sand, going through an hourglass, I mean, very often you've obviously got the future. Well, at least you've got the future, and you've got the present, and you've got the past. And I think very often we so focused on it in the top and the bottom part of the hourglass, we're never actually living in the present. And we never even, sometimes even I always try and check myself on this when I'm having a conversation with people, that I'm present in that moment, because sometimes it's so, when you're so busy, you're always thinking about this, you're thinking about that, you're not actually present. What we all got to realize, and one of my mentors also, he's got this amazing thing where if he comes and visits me, or if I spend time with him, he puts his phone away. He doesn't even have his phone close to him, because he says, for me, the most important thing now is to spend time with you. And that really does make an impression, because, the person that you're speaking to right now is the most important thing I'm doing in my life right now is not putting my kids to bed. It's not worrying about what I'm going to do tomorrow. It's right now, it's seeing how I can, can really bring a strong message across to 174 people on the call here. Some of you, I've never even met you, but maybe there's something I can say tonight that can maybe inspire you to go out there. You might make a difference in one person's life, or 10 people, or 100, or 1,000. I think that's what this is really all about. So anyways, I want to just really go into the presentation, because I've just been chatting. So it's and I hope sometimes, maybe once a month, I can actually do more of these talks, because it's nice to sometimes just share what's going on and what's happening, and what I sort of feel we need to be focusing on and working towards. But I mean, we've had an amazing month. I mean, it's just so exciting to be part of a business where we can be able to work from home. And what we're doing here today is the future. Like, home-based business is the future, where you can sit on Zoom and talk to 174 people from your living room. I mean, where you don't. I mean, I remember for me, I do between 60 and 80 flights every single year. Every single year. I mean, I'm on a flight every week, or if not every 2 weeks, I'm on a flight, either internationally or locally. How amazing! It's been 3 months. I haven't been on one flight. I haven't even been to the airport. Like, I mean, I haven't even been out of the southern suburbs. I mean, it's so amazing that, that you how scalable this whole business is, where we can all be on this call this evening, and you can be able to get someone on board in the product, and, get them to order their product in Hong Kong, or you could be sharing the business with someone in the United States. And it's amazing, this whole month, we've had people join from probably 7 or 8 different countries all over the world, just in my team. So, I mean, how exciting is that we can do this. And you can start that for 750 Rand, a business you can build internationally that you can leave to your kids, that you can earn a residual income. It's just amazing. So I'm really, really excited about, just about where this is going, and probably more so about what the difference this product is making in people's lives. I mean, every single day, the testimonials I get, how much better people feel. I mean, it's just a blessing, and it's just such a blessing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a screen share. Okay, all of you should be able to see my screen. What I will do is I'll also just pass this out. If you haven't got this, just chat to your upline presidential director. So basically, this is just like a little thing I put together, and it's basically some of the basic things. So the first thing that you've got to obviously, we've already spoken about this, is what do you want to achieve by doing this business? Figure out what it is that you want to, because you see, very often what happens is, people, we go to university and we spend like 3 years to get a degree, but people won't spend one day to write down what their dreams and goals are for their lives. I mean, how crazy is that? Like we don't even know what we want out of our lives. We don't even know what's important to me. So we go and study something. We don't even know if that's what I really want to do, or if I do that, is that is that really what I value? So I want you to think about what do you want to achieve out of this? I mean, all of us in life, we need something to work towards. So that for me is the first thing. What do you want to achieve by doing this business? The second thing is obviously, your goal date. So maybe your goal is to earn 5,000 Rand a month, or maybe 5,000 Rand a day, or 5,000 Rand a week, whatever it may be. But write down what is your goal to, and I always encourage you to start with smaller goals. But write down what's your goal. When would you like to be at a certain level? So that for me is the second thing. And obviously, with all these things, discuss it with the person you're working with, because they'll obviously be able to assist you with this as well. The third thing you want to do is write down the list of people that you think may be interested in the business. And one of the things that very often that I pick up with this is that people try and prejudge people. We try and play God, and we decide, oh, that person will be interested, this person won't be interested. Oh, that person has a lot of money, that person won't do the business. For me, if you don't ask, it's a no in any way. So for me, it's very important that and especially in the times we are right now, people are open, people are hungry to make extra income. I mean, no one's allergic to earning extra income. I mean, you've even got, everyone's open to earn extra income. So I mean, for me, especially if it's something I could do from home, where it's in health and wellness. I mean, I shared this with some of you if you were on the call 4 weeks ago or so. Just since the lockdown globally, e-commerce has increased obviously massively. I mean, it's increased by over 30% globally, if it's not more than that. But what the most interesting part about that is the sale of vitamins and minerals has gone up 161% in the last 3 to 6 months. I mean, 3 months. I mean, we don't have to convince people about your immune system being important. I think everyone knows that. I mean, so being in health and wellness with a product that we have, it's patented, that's proprietary, that's got 17 published clinical trials, it makes people feel better, it's got a satisfaction guarantee on it, which is, all these things. I mean, it's got these amazing benefits and features. I mean, like, we are such an exciting place to work with a product that's consumable. It's so exciting to be part of that. But you know what? A lot of people out there are also looking for ways to earn extra income, to diversify their income. You can't be living in today's society thinking you only need one source of income. You need multiple streams of income. And when I'm talking about multiple streams of income, I'm not talking about multiple network marketing companies. You can only build one company. And if you're on the call this evening, you're with the right company. I can assure you that. So, but 96% of people lying awake at night are worrying about two things: health and their finances. So think about who the 10 people I can talk to over the next sort of 7 to 10 days about the opportunity. Who's open to take a look at what, earning extra residual income or passive income or home-based opportunity, and write those names down, because here's what I can share with you. If you don't write those names down, you definitely not going to contact you, because very often people think in their minds, oh, I've spoken to this, I'm spoken to that person. Write the names down on a piece of paper. I'm still writing names down on a piece of paper by people I need to contact. I'm still writing myself to-do list every single day. I've got to do this, follow up with this person, contact this person. So that's the first thing. Number 3, write the people down who you think would be open to, or who you'd like to have as business partners on your team. The next thing, which is step 4, is this the people who would be interested in the product? Who do I know would like to have a better immune system? 100% of the people you know. So I mean, you could probably write down 500 names for people that would want to improve immune system. Who do you know wants to lose body fat? Who do you know that wants to look younger? I mean, that's like, I mean, who do you know that wants to is struggling with certain challenges? You know, like who's got compromised, you know, whatever. You know, we're not, obviously not allowed to mention diseases, so I can't do that on the call, especially because I don't know who's on the call. So, but so that's what I want to encourage you is write down. And this is the thing that I realize is that I know that not every single person you speak to is going to be open to the business. I mean, I completely can comprehend that. But I cannot comprehend that people will not be open to using the product because every single person needs the product. I mean, we at Manatech have got this technology called glycans, glyconutrients. We're the first nutritional company in the world that brought a whole new class of nutrients to market. You cannot get this anywhere else but through Manatech. We've got, I mean, our Ambertose product has got more, like between, I think, I mean, it was 50, it's probably 80 different patents on that product. You can't, with exclusive agreements, you can't get it anywhere else. And every single person in the world needs it. Like our cells need these 8 essential glycans, and we're only getting 2 of the 8 in the modern day diet because of the way we're eating. So you're not getting the other 6. So where else are you going to get them? Well, you're not going to be able to eat them, so you're going to have to buy them from Manatech, and that's every single person you know, unfortunately. So every single person you know should at least be on Ambertose or Ambertose capsules or the Ambertose AO because they need that product. It's gonna, I mean, how important is, how much do you value your wellness and your health? So I've said, yeah, okay, let's do 20 names of people that you want to talk to about the product. The next thing is step 5 is when do you want to launch your business? When you start a business, some people start a business and some people launch a business. You know, I've just personally in the last sort of 2 weeks, I've seen what can happen when you launch businesses, and we've been doing some launches, and it's gone extremely well because that's the way that you get excitement. Is when you get people together, or when you're talking to large numbers of people. Because remember, when you're speaking to 20 people, not all 20 people are going to get involved, but you're going to get 10 people involved, or maybe 5 people. But if you only speak to one person, you're not going to be able to get. Well, if 50% of people get involved and you speak to one person, you've got a 50% chance of them getting involved. So you might not get anyone in your team. So you need to realize that, you know, it's almost like a deck of cards. A deck of cards, you've got 52 cards in the deck. And what are you looking for? You're looking for the 4 aces in the deck of cards. You don't want, and you obviously have to realize they're going to be the 4 jokers or the 2 jokers. Sometimes it feels like there's 4 jokers in the pack. Maybe any of you've done Manatech, you'll realize there probably are 4 jokers every pack. So let's say there's 54 cards in the deck. So anyway, so the 5th step is write down the date when you're going to launch your business, what time is it going to be, and where you're going to be doing it. Well, obviously, I realize the stage is a bit more difficult to do actual live events, but maybe you do it on Zoom, or maybe you just get together and you realize, okay, this is the date I'm going to take, and I'm actually going to go contact these 30 people I want to speak to. So get the date and time together. Something that also works quite nicely is if you can get a group of people together and you say, okay, all of us are going to quickly contact our 30 people for the week, and it's called it's almost like a boiler room or like a phone team meeting, and you know, you get 5 friends together. So let's say we're all going to contact our 30 people quickly, and this is the message we're going to send out to them, or we send them voice notes, and you could make it a nice fun thing out of it. So you don't feel like you have to be on your own and contact people, because very often people are very, very, it's amazing for me how scared people are of no. They take it personally. It's like when people don't get involved, they don't get back to them, they think it's something that they did. And it's not like that. It's just because it's not you. It's you, the messenger, not the message. So that's step 5. Step 6, I think what you got to do is before you want to launch your business, I think it's very, very important you work through some material. The one would be the Manatech difference, which I think is a great CD to share about, or link. The link is also available. Share with you what makes Manatech different and unique. It's on the manapol.com page, and the Manatech difference. The password is transform, but your upline will share that with you. The next video I want you to watch is the Manatech overview, which is only about 10 minutes, but it takes you through in 10 minutes a little bit about Manatech. It shows you the lab. You meet like Ray Robbins, you know, one of the founders of the company. You see who the people are involved. You see the compliance department. You see all those different things. That's so I would definitely encourage you to watch the Manatech overview. It's a great, you know, just a great short message where you can get a good idea what Manatech's all about. The next thing is Building Your Network Marketing Business by Jim Rohn. It's available on CD. I think you probably will find it on YouTube if you go and have a look there, and also chat your upline because they might even have it and they could just pass it on to you. And then the last one, if you want to read something, I would recommend you read the 4-year career plan, which is also available on PDF. So it's completely free, which you can also get from your upline, which is where Richard Brooker, I know personally as well, writes a book really where he talks about network marketing and why is this the future and where does the money come from and what do people say when why is it not a pyramid scheme and how do you choose a legitimate company and all these sorts of things. So it's good for you to know those things because you know why? When you're going out there and talking to people, it's all about confidence. The person that believes the most in the opportunity or not in the opportunity is always going to have the upper hand. So it's very, very important that you educate yourself. And that's why I always feel my motor vehicle must be like a university on wheels. When I'm driving my car or even if I'm walking, I'm always trying to listen to something that's going to inspire me and motivate me and where I can actually learn something. And then of course, the seventh part is basically, you know, the next event that you want to attend. So it might be the next webinar. So on Thursday evening, I'm doing an opportunity webinar where I'm going to be going through the business, which you're obviously welcome to invite people to. There's obviously the Monday evening webinars. I mean, there's Super Saturdays, and there's obviously Super Regionals, which I'm not sure when it's going to take place again, hopefully soon. And then also there's on the bottom right, there's a part where you can just write your name and obviously also your upline's name and obviously what their contact details are. Just quickly, if there's something that you need help with from a corporate point of view, you can call the SA office number, which is 011 615 0188, but your upline can also share that with you. And if it's after 5 o'clock and you want to call directly to America, to the corporate office in Dallas, that's completely, it's a toll-free number, so you're not going to be charged for it, and they are very, very helpful. In fact, I would encourage you to maybe give them a call and just have a chat with them because they're so friendly, they're so helpful, and that's 0800 98 1117. And you can, I mean, I've obviously called them many times in the past, so there's always someone that can help with something. If it's an order that needs to be sorted out, if it's, you know, something you're unsure about, but always check upline first. And you might have not know what your upline is. The upline is the person that's working with you, mentoring and teaching and training you how to build the business. So so I hope that helped. So I see we're almost on the half an hour. So basically, yeah, I mean, what I just want to close off with is I think, you know, statistically, we've got to realize that, you know, if there's 100, I see we're up at 188 people now, and that life is all about statistics, right? So I already know that when I ask all of you to make a list, like let's assume tomorrow, and write your 10 product business builders that you want to talk to as potential associates and 20 customers, I know that at least half of you are not going to do it. It's not, and I don't know who the half are going to be, but I know statistically that's just the way it is. And I already know that 90 of you are not going to do it. And of the 90 that are going to do it, I know that probably only 45 of you are actually going to implement it. And that's what you've got to realize about life. Life is all about making decisions. Every single day you get to decide. And so I want to encourage you is that, you know, you've on the call here now this evening is, you know, why don't be one of the 45 people and not one of the 90? And why don't we try and do something amazing? And why don't we try and get all 190 of us, because we've gone up to 190 people now, why don't we get all 190 of us to say, you know, all of us tomorrow by 12 o'clock, or I'm going to write down my list of 10 potential associates I want to talk to and 20 potential customers I want to talk to. In fact, I'll make it even easier for you. Let's say by 12 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday, you will send that to the person you're working with, your list of 10 associates you want to talk to and your 20 customers you want to talk to, and show your upline or show your presidential upline who's committed and who's really serious about this. Because that's how you identify who to work with. Because here's what I've realized is that we only have so much time. So what I've got to do is, what have I got to do? I've got to spend my time at least with who? The high impact, low maintenance, okay? And very often what happens is the people that don't do what they need to do, they end up being the high maintenance people with the low impact. And there's this principle called the Pareto principle, which means that it's the 80-20 rule. Some of you might know this. But what does it mean? It means that 80% of all accidents in South Africa happen on 20% of the roads. 80% of the time, you wear 20% of your clothes. You know, so I mean, it's everything, and that's just the way that life works. It's the 80-20 rule, and that's what I want to share with you. Is with your business. In fact, I want you to think about when you start building your business. Is, you know, give everyone a fair opportunity, but let your leaders and let the people identify themselves and put up their own hands to see who's really serious about this and who's really serious about what they wrote down in the first step, which was, why am I actually doing this? Because no company is going to pay you 5,000 a month, 5,000 a week or 5,000 a day or whatever it may be, if you don't become worth it, you are paid whatever. What you see, here's the thing, and I'm going to leave it with this: is that whatever you earn is directly related to the difference and how many people's lives you're touching. That is what you're earning. So if you can help more people make a success, if you can help more people in the product, you will earn a really, really amazing income. And it will be by helping other people as well. And that for me, I think is why this is such an amazing concept, because your success is directly proportional to the value you add to other people. So thank you very much for taking the time out to be on the call this evening. It's I hope to see many of you in the future. I'm not sure. Well, I hope you're all trying to working towards qualifying for the Mauritius incentive. Some of the questions has been, well, what are we going to be able to travel? We probably, if we can't travel on those dates, it'll probably be extended, not extended, but it might, if it can't happen in October, it might happen in November or early next year, or they're just going to pass the commissions out of whatever the trip, the equivalent of the trip. So that's, I would encourage you to go for that trip, because the people that qualify for the incentives have got a better chance of going to the next level, because they're gonna obviously, they've got more people in the product, they've started building their teams. That's one of the things I really want to encourage you, is to make sure that you do that. So have a good evening and all the best, and yeah, and enjoy I know there's going to be a webinar at 9 p.m. So if you can hop on that, that'll be great. So but otherwise, have a good evening and all the best for the rest of the week. And the business period is closing on tomorrow. Is the last day of the business period. So the hard close will only be on Wednesday. So if there's any orders you still need to do, you can still do that on Wednesday. But by 12, between 12 and 2 o'clock on Wednesday, because Wednesday is if I'm not mistaken, is the 1st. So you can still put some orders through. So thank you very much, everyone, and enjoy the rest of the evening and enjoy the rest of the week. And let's finish the business period strong.